You remember last year when Everything Everywhere All at Once came out and everybody really liked how crazy that style was? Well, the trailer for this film, Polite Society, an action comedy film now playing in theaters and also available to rent on VOD, I really thought that this film, it was going to be like that, very crazy and off the wall. Well, to my disappointment, it wasn't like that at all. Let's talk about it. Ria Khan believes she must save her older sister Lena from her impending marriage. After enlisting her friend's help, she attempts to pull off the most ambitious of all wedding heists in the name of independence and sisterhood. The film stars Priya Kansara, Ritu Arya, Renu Brindle, Seraphina Ben, and Sally Ann, and was directed by Nida Manzoor, and this is her directorial debut. Polite Society. Now, I did see a trailer for this film in the theater, and like I said in my intro, I really thought this would be a very crazy and a very over-the-top and funny film, and unfortunately, this film, it was not that at all. Now, what did I like about this film? I like the soundtrack. I found that the music, it really does carry the film at times. I found that this film, it does have a sense of style between the costumes, the coloring, the way that the different shots and the different colors they use. I do like that. I love the sister dynamic, and I also like that they actually have a sense of style with the title cards they show on screen. Now obviously that's done a lot in films with title cards, at least lately it has been, but I like the actual style that they put towards those title cards. But really, that's where my positives end. One of the things that I was really looking forward to in this film is the action. I thought it would be very much over the top, but unfortunately the action here, it's very much lacking, and I felt like this film, it very was much heavily influenced by Jackie Chan and like Everything Everywhere All at Once, but I found the choreography just to be very average. I found that the fights, they had no stakes or any weight to them, and it felt like a lot of the fights, they were kind of silly, and it was really hard to really take them serious and feel like they really meant anything to me or maybe some audience members as well. I also found it really strange that this girl, she's trying to be aspiring to be a stunt woman, and even though her parents aren't really in agreement of doing that, she wants to follow those dreams, and so she has this bond with her sister, and when her sister actually tries to fall in love with another guy, that breaks that bond apart. So when I say that I do like the bond between the sisters here, I also like that they do incorporate that breaking of that bond and really stretching upon that bond. But I also felt, even though that this girl, she was a stunt woman, when she is doing these different fights, you would think that not the other people that she was fighting, you would think that they wouldn't be that great and wouldn't be able to match move for move. But unfortunately, when she has these fight scenes, she really just doesn't do anything very special, and that was very disappointing. We also get into the third act, and there's a lot of monologues that are dropped. And also, they try to actually put some sci-fi type of story, and I was like, what are we doing here? And I found by the time the film actually ended, it really didn't do a whole lot for me. And another thing that was really disappointing too is, if you can, don't watch the trailer, because it gives away a lot of plot points here, and it also gives a little bit of the ending as well, unfortunately. The jokes in this film, I found them to really not land for me. I found that our main character, her two best friends, I found them to be really annoying. I found that their humor, it just never really landed for me. I was reading a lot of other reviews of what people actually thought about the comedy, and somebody said that the humor really reminded them of a lot of Gen Z humor, so take that for what somebody said. But I really just felt like the humor overall, it just couldn't really match the style of the film and the tone of the film. And speaking of the tone of the film, I found it to be very much all over the place. On one hand, it's about family, another part about dreams, another part where we have some mixed martial arts moves, and unfortunately that fight choreography, it never really lines up. And then you have this comedy, and then you throw some sci-fi towards the end of the film, which by that point it really misses the mark, and it's just too late to actually introduce that sci-fi into the film at that point. And it's just too mixed genres for me. I just can't stand that many mixed genres if you can't really execute a plot. And unfortunately, that's where this film, it really falls flat for me. I found that it has a few elements that would make it a half-decent story, but it just doesn't really capitalize on that. And I think some of the things that are introduced, it makes it feel like it's just kind of an unfinished script, and a script that should have been edited a little bit more. And I found overall the characters, that's what really would draw you into the film. A lot of the characters, or I should say the side characters that are with our supposed hero, they just are really not there for me. And unfortunately, it lacks that to really carry the plot and really further the story. So as far as the score for this film, I would give it a 2 out of 5. I think there was a few things I liked about the film, but unfortunately it really didn't land for me overall, and it's a miss for me, and I couldn't watch this film again. But let me know in the comments, what do you think about this film? Have you even heard about this film? And after watching my review, what do you think about this film? Is it something that you think you would want to check out? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on my next review.